So when you start seeing these or start noticing these in your relationship, run away. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at red flags of a relationship. Today we're going to be looking at red flags. Okay, so before we actually get into mentioning some of the red flags, we're actually going to be looking at 10 red flags of a relationship. And before we go into looking at each of them, we should know that facts don't cease to exist just because you're ignoring them. Facts will always be facts. So just because you're ignoring certain things doesn't mean it ends there. They still remain facts even if you ignore them. So we shouldn't be ignoring red flags or warnings, because most people, when a relationship is coming to an end, they're found napping and then they're just surprised, like, oh, why are we doing this? When actually there have been signs that have been happening and they're actually indicating that, okay, this relationship there is no so you just don't have to ignore these red flags. You have to put them into consideration, and they might be indicating a future breakup. So don't ignore red flags. So we're going to dive right in and talk about these 10 red flags. So the first one is always busy. Mr. or Mrs. always busy all the time. No, I'm busy. They don't have time. They literally have no time for the relationship. They're always busy. Like, that's a huge red flag. Like, okay, then who am I? What am I doing here when you can't fix me in your schedule, or you can't find time for me? That's a red flag. Second one is a relationship that's based on sex. That's a red flag, because you know that's all you're doing in the relationship, and that's the reason why the relationship is existing. Too much of the physical and stuff, it's just a huge red flag. That means, because when you involve yourself in that, it's like you leave no room for time to get to know each other better. All that is erased, all that is cut off, and you just focus on you getting intimate and sexual and all. And that's a huge red flag, because it hinders progress of the relationship. So premarital sex is bad, period. And then the third one, unfaithfulness. Loyalty is a measure of love. You know that? Loyalty is a measure of love. You have to be loyal to your partner. You have to be faithful. So lack of unfaithfulness, that's a huge red flag. Don't forgive your cheating partners. Okay. Maybe I'm coming out so strong, but don't tolerate such, because that's a huge red flag. And one thing I should say is, ladies, stop giving excuses for your partner. No, maybe he did this because maybe I wasn't giving him this, maybe I wasn't. Stop creating excuses for them. If someone's unfaithful, they're not loyal. Stop trying to justify their actions. Unfaithfulness, huge red flag. And the fourth one is undefined relationship. That's a huge red flag. Already, you don't even know who you are. That's a huge red flag already, because you don't even know who you are, what you're doing. Let someone make something clear to you. Okay, we're doing this. And like just being in an undefined relationship, because that would lead to some heartbreak. The other one is poor communication. Poor communication is also a huge red flag. All head of the phase. Communication is the key, and it is the key. You have to talk about everything. Lack of communication just doesn't mean talking, like just talking. You failing to come to an agreement when you have a misunderstanding, that's lack of communication, by the way. You not talking about personal stuff, or you not knowing what's happening in your partner's life, the little things, that's lack of communication. You complaining about the same thing over and over and over again, that means you're not making progress, you're not communicating. So communication is also resolving issues, coming to an agreement or a compromise. That's also communication. Seventh red flag is the unresolved conflicts. You have to talk about things and resolve them when they pass, because if you keep putting conflicts together, it's like This person here gave an example of junk. Like, let's talk about piling junk. Like, you're piling up junk in your relationship, a lot of junk. This junk will create a conducive environment for germs to breed, bacteria and everything, and make your relationship diseased, and it will rot away. So this was a very good example. Like, unresolved conflicts are like you're dumping things in the relationship. What do you expect? Bacteria, maggots and everything start growing there, and your relationship is going to rot away. Yeah, so we shouldn't do that. Let's not pile up things in the relationship or conflicts. Let's talk about them, reach an agreement or a compromise, and then move on. And then the 8th one is comparing your partner with your ex or other people. Comparing someone isn't good. This one also is a huge red flag, because that means they're not having that acceptance. They don't have the acceptance that they have you, or they're not really content with you, but they're actually comparing you to other people. No, he was like this, he used to do this, or busy comparing you to other people, and maybe another relationship. Like, look at what he's doing. It's like they're not content with you, and it's like they're lacking acceptance that they have you. This is who they have, and this is what they have. It's like they're not content. So that's a huge red flag when they keep comparing you to other people or their ex partners. And then the 9th one is conflicting goals and values. You must have the same goals. Like, what are your lifelong goals? What do you see yourself in 5 years? What are you doing? Your goals, your values. These, if they're conflicting, then that's a huge red flag. 10th one, constant criticism. All the time criticizing your partner. Constant criticism chokes love away, and that leads to a failed relationship, and it's a huge red flag. Of course, positive criticism is okay, but it shouldn't be too much negative criticism. And then the last one is abuse. Yeah, there are many forms of abuse. There is sexual abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse. Those ones are very huge red flags and shouldn't be tolerated at all. So these were the 10 red flags of a relationship. So when you start seeing these or start noticing these in your relationship, run away. Okay, not necessarily run away, but they're just giving you hints, or they're just giving you a picture of where your relationship is going, and it's you to like see, okay, this isn't right and this isn't okay, and I'm not settling for this. Imagine being in a relationship where you're being hit, insulted all the time. Like, okay, I'm not supposed to be here, and this is a red flag. I should leave. Yeah, we shouldn't be scared to leave and start afresh. Yeah, especially when it's really necessary for you. For example, in an abusive relationship, okay, like, what are you doing there? Yeah, so you should have this self-love and self-care, and be able to see that, okay, I don't deserve this, I deserve better, and move on. Yeah, so these were the 10 red flags. So when you see these, run away. Yeah, it's over, it's dead. Okay, so this is what we had for today. So like, share and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe, and see you in the next video.